Hello everybody, welcome back into another Dragon Ball Legends video. I know I haven't been on here in a hot minute, but it's because this game's really fucking boring right now. I can't really do anything right now until Legends Fest shows up, because that's when the newest units are going to be out and that's when the best units are going to show up, so there's really no reason for me to even do much. However, this week we got a bunch of new info about this and about these three new units from Daima. I haven't watched Daima still. I'm just gonna let the first season probably get done before I start watching Daima. And some reason we have Sin Shenron as well. It's probably something to do with Daima. I don't know. So we're just gonna go over them, starting out with this guy, Glorio. Alright. Mysterious Majin. Randomly destroys one of your own cards, draws the ultimate arts card, Sky Rending Flash combo next. Restores own health by 20% and ki by 50. Plus 30% to blast damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Applies buff effect, nullifies enemies, destroy card effects to self for 20 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received for 20 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with the attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration for 20 timer counts after 25 timer counts elapsed. Visitor from the Demon Realm. The following effects occur when battle starts. 110% of damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, plus 30% of damage to blast damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, reduces damage received by 70% cannot be cancelled, plus 50% to own ki recovery cannot be cancelled, increases own arts card draw speed by 1 level, minus 5 to own blast and special move arts costs, plus 40% to own critical rate, applies buff effect, nullifies enemies' reduced Dragon Ball effects to self for 30 timer counts, plus 30% to damage inflicted by tag Daima or tag weapon wielder. Okay. Sure. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Restores own health by 10% and ki by 40, plus 80% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once. Plus 20% to special move damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 5 timer counts, destroys two of your enemy's strike arts cards, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 40% to special move, ultimate, and awakened arts power for 10 timer counts. The following effects occur when changing cover. Restores on health by 5%, destroys one of your enemy's special move arts cards, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 50% to ki recovery for 10 timer counts, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts cost. Oh my god, for 10 timer counts. Yowzas. The following effect occurs when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. Randomly draws one new card, plus 20% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions, shortens ally substitution count by 2, reduces enemy ki by 20. Okay. Trusting Goku. Knocks enemy back to long range if a cover change is performed against their strike arts attack. Activates during assist. Combo with the special move. The following effects occur upon landing a strike or blast arts hit. Randomly draws one new card, activates twice, restores on ki by 20, activates once, applies the buff effect, nullifies, cover null, to self for 5 timer counts, activates once, inflicts enemy with attribute up and downgrade plus 3 to sub count for 10 timer counts, activates once. Activation count resets after character switches. I believe that's talking about the stuff above. Applies the following effects to self every time this character or an enemy uses an arts while this character is on the battlefield. Restores on health by 3%, 10% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Oh my god. Plus 10% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts every time an ally other than this character uses an arts card. Does that apply to him or to his allies? I think it just applies to him. Nullifies enemies' restore health when it reaches 0 effect for 3 timer counts when this character activates Rising Rush. So you don't get Endurance, but I think Revival still activates. Cancels enemy buff effects when they activate an Ultimate Awakened or Rising Rush while this character is not defeated, and there's a tag Daima or Weapon Wielder battle member other than this character in the party activates twice. Okay, sure, yeah, okay, yeah. The following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. Shortens own subcount by 1, activates 3 times. Restores ally health by 10% and ki by 20. 10% damage inflicted by allies for 15 timer counts. Normal strike, normal blast. Oh no, the blast has a little effect. Applies attribute upgrade minus 10% to enemies' sustained damage cut effects to self for 10 timer counts on hit. Okay, the green card. Randomly draws at most 2 no cards when you have 3 or fewer. Restores own ki by 50. Plus 10 damage and 10% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Plus 15% to own health restoration for 20 timer counts. Plus 20% to damage inflicted by allies for 20 timer counts. Reduces enemy ki by 20. Alright. It's pretty short for a green card though. Blue card deals massive impact damage. Applies the following effect to self upon activation. Plus 30% to special move damage for 3 timer counts. Applies attribute upgrade minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 3 timer counts. Randomly destroys 3 enemy cards on hit. Blast armor 1 charging forward. God, bro, another melee. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus. Okay. And this one's also a melee. Oh my god. Okay. No more ranged blue cards for us, guys. Deals massive impact damage. Plus 40% to damage inflicted. Plus 40% to ultimate damage inflicted, for 3 timer counts upon activation. Applies the following effects to self on hit. Restores vanishing gauge by 100%. Plus 20% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. And increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 30 timer counts, cannot be cancelled. Is this guy a support unit? Healer. Is he a support? What does it say that? No, he's a range type. What? He's doing so much healing. It's weird. For a range type? I remember reading something about him getting a little more blast damage, but in all honesty, this guy's just getting damage in general. And he, where's that ability? Right here. This reminds me of Ultra Hit. This ability right here. Heal by 3%. That reminds me of Ultra Hit. Alright. Well then, time to go into the Goku. Of course, because we need another Daima Goku already. Literally, we already had one. Time to get another one, right? Because this is the Goku show. Unrelenting. Oh wait, which type is he? Where is it? Melee type. Okay, this guy's supposed to be melee. Okay, so he's supposed to be doing strike damage. Unrelenting combo attack. Draw the ultimate arts card, Super Intense Staff Strike next. Restores own health by 30% and ki by 50. Cancels own attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. Also applies the following effect to self for 50 timer counts. To self if 50 timer counts has elapsed since battle start. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for 10 timer counts. Increases Dragon Balls by 1. Requirements 25 counts. Alright. To a World of Excitement. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 110% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 70%, cannot be cancelled. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level, cannot be cancelled. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer. Restores on ki by 30. 90% of damage inflicted. Randomly destroys 1 of your enemy cards. Randomly destroys 1 of your enemy cards. Okay, so we'll destroy 2 of your enemy cards when he ETBs. Applies the following effect to self every time this character uses an arts card. If enemy health is 50% or below, activates once. So randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Applies buff effect nullify and cover null for 10 timer counts. Applies the following effect to self every time this character uses an arts card. That's gambling with your combos. Okay. Oh, no, okay. I thought it said applies 1 of the following effects. It applies both of these. Okay, I'm stupid. Activation count resets after character switch. Okay. Applies the following effect to self every time an ally uses an arts card. Plus 10% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates 7 times. You know what's something funny? The other guy didn't have an activation stopper on his. I noticed that he didn't say anything about, like, stopping how many times it activated. I swear he didn't. Plus 20% to the next strike arts damage inflicted, up to 80%. Applied to attack when this character uses a strike arts card. Uses, not lands, uses. That's horrible. That means you want to use a blast first and then combo it into a strike. Because if you miss your strike, then all of this damage just goes away. Plus 10% to the next special move or ultimate damage inflicted, up to 30%. Applied to attack when this character uses a special move or ultimate arts. Terrible. Applies the following effects to self every time tag Daima, or tag Sun Family, or tag Weapon Wielder other than this character uses an arts card. Plus 20% to the next blast arts damage inflicted, up to 80%. Plus 10% to the next special move or ultimate damage inflicted, up to 30%. Okay. This Daima tag is getting really, really, really good. I think the other guy had something like literally exactly the same as this, just like different damages. Grand Entrusted Task. Knocks enemy back to long range if a cover change is performed against their blast arts attack. I remember the other guy was strike arts. They're both comboable with special move. Applies the following effects to self every time own Dragon Balls increase by 1 while this character is not defeated. Restores health by 10%. Applies buff effect, nullifies enemy's special action. Okay, cover null for 10 counts. God, I don't know why they don't just say cover null. It's so annoying. Applies the following effects to self every time own Dragon Balls increase by 1 while this character is on the battlefield. Restores ki by 50. Restores Vanishing Gauge by 70%. So he does not get the 100% Vanish Gauge restore. The following effects occur every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack with this character is on the battlefield. Reduces impact, explode, and slice damage received by 15% for 15 timer counts. Cannot be cancelled. Activates once. Applies attribute upgrades. Shortens sub count by 1 to self for 10 timer counts. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 50 timer counts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade -1 to arts card draw speed level for 3 timer counts. The following effects occur when own health reaches 0. Activates once, so he has endurance. Restores own health by 30. Shortens allies sub count by 10. Reduces enemy ki by 70. And reduces Dragon Balls by 3. Okay. So that's what makes him really, really good. Because so far he had just been kind of like meh. He was like a diet version of the other one. But this guy seems pretty okay. What about his things? His strike, -5 to own arts costs for 30 timer counts on hit. Cannot be stacked. Aw, can't be stacked. That's cringe. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade +30 to all arts cards for 3 timer counts on hit. That'd be a nice one to end off on. Jesus Christ. Warm-up exercise. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores own health by 15% and ki by 50. 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Cancels own attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. Also applies the following effects to self if 50 timer counts have elapsed from battle start. Plus 40% to ki recovery for 15 timer counts. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 15 timer counts. Cannot be stacked. Cringe. Blue card, deals massive impact damage. Following effects occur upon activation. Applies the attribute upgrade. Shortens sub count by 3 to self for 15 counts. And shortens ally sub count by 3. Following effects occur if 50 timer counts have elapsed. Plus 20% to special move damage for 3 counts. 20% damage inflicted by allies for 20 timer counts. And 20% to allies ki recovery for 20 timer counts. And it's fucking melee. Oh my god. Okay, cool, great, awesome. The melees are the new way forward, guys. Super intense staff strike deals massive impact damage. The following effects occur upon activation. Applies the attribute upgrade. Shortens substitution count by 3 to self for 3 timer counts, and shortens ally substitution count by 3. And if 50 counts passed, 20% to ultimate damage. Nullifies endurance, and 20% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. I'll be straight up with you. Not worth it. Not worth it. Y'all, I cannot. No. I cannot. No way. Sin. I think this is the new free unit because I didn't see him on the summons over here. Yeah, I did not see him on here. Yeah. By the way, these are the Legends Limited that you can get. So specifically for that banner, absolutely do not. Absolutely do not. How does this go? 300 for 3, 500 for... Oh, it's not telling me how much. So let's see, 1,500 for an entire multi. Ew. It's just so gross. God. And like the ones that aren't these two, the actual Legends Limiteds, like are all terrible. Red Beast Gohan is basically dead now. He can still put up numbers, but he's just not that good anymore. Honestly, he's just simply not that good anymore. I seriously could not recommend summoning on this banner for these two. Glorio seems really good. I think that's how you spell his name. I don't know. I haven't watched the anime, so please forgive me. And Goku Mini, I mean, I don't like his kit. It doesn't look that good. Especially since we know, like, literally at the end of this month, we're getting something that is way better in every single asset. No matter how you want to split it, it will be better. I cannot say to summon on this banner. I just think it's going to be shit. Especially compared to what we're going to be getting in, like, 2 weeks from now. Last but not least, we got Sen Shenron. I don't know why he's here. I couldn't tell you why. And he's a range type as well, so we get 2 new range types. Cool. Cruel and Heartless Shadow Dragon. Destroys all of your own cards and randomly draws 4 new ones. Restores own health by 10% and ki by 30. Cancels own attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% of damage received for 15 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 40% to health restoration for 15 timer counts. 10 counts to elapse. Oh yeah, this is the free character. You can tell because his ability, and you can see the second ability already, so this is a free character. You can tell this is a free character. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. Plus 90% to damage inflicted, can't be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 65%. Plus 50% to ki recovery. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level. Minus 10 to blast arts cost. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Draws a Blast Arts card next, restores on ki by 30, 90% of damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once, inflicts enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20 to strike and Blast Arts costs for 3 timer counts. Okay. And the following effect occurs if own health reaches 50% or below, activates once. Restores own health by 30%, plus 30% of damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, destroys all of your enemy's cards. Okay, I mean... That's a pretty... I wish, like, it looked like this when we were talking about the actual, like, new good characters, not just the free-to-play. Because this is way easier to understand that he's doing pretty okay. He just doesn't have the damage output. Applies the following effect to self every time Blast Arts card is drawn while this character is on the battlefield. Restores health by 5% and ki by 20. Restores Vanishing Gauge by 15%, plus 10% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Applies the following effect to self every time this character uses a Blast Arts card. Draws a Blast Arts card next, activates once. Activation count resets after character switch, plus 10% to damage or special move damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Oh my God. Minus 3 to special move arts cost for 15 timer counts. That means absolutely nothing. Wait. Every time he uses a blast. Okay, that means more now. Okay. Applies the attribute upgrade. Minus 5% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 15 timer counts. Applies the following effects whenever hit with an enemy's arts attack with his cards on the battlefield. Destroys all of your own cards and randomly draws 4 new ones. Activates once. Okay. Activation count resets after character switch, plus 10% to own health restoration for 10 timer counts. Inflicts enemies with attribute downgrade, minus 15% to ki recovery for 10 timer counts. Okay, he has a normal strike and blast. Well, actually, I haven't been looking at these. Event exclusive, he's free. GT, powerful opponent, who cares? Green card. Destroys all of your own cards and randomly draws 2 new ones. Restores own key by 30. Plus 20% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Increases own arch card draw speed by 1 level for 15 timer counts. Cannot be stacked. Applies buff effect. Nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self for 5 timer counts. This is where he gets cover null. Oh no. And deals massive explode damage, applies the following effect to self upon activation, destroys all cards and draws 2 new ones, plus 30% of damage into special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. This guy hates having cards in his hand. He absolutely hates it. He wants all of them gone right now. He doesn't want any of them in his hand. He wants nothing in his hand. He's just gonna draw a full new one. He's gonna rip you a new one. That's what he's gonna do. I can see it now. He's gonna be one of those characters that just come in, explode with damage, and then like you send them back into the back lines and you wait for a rising rush, you send him out there, and if he survives, then he's even more cracked. If he dies, he was a free-to-play unit, you don't care about him in the slightest anyways. Cool. There was, I believe this is a new equipment. Base strike defense, base blast defense, 22%, base strike attack, base blast attack, 22%, base health, and base special move. I think this to me looks really fucking good. To me. Now, I might want to tell you this. I'm not good at PvP. I suck at PvP. I'm basically a damn noob when it comes to PvP. So I don't know how actual good this is, but it looks good. It looks really good. If I'm being honest, it looks really, really good. 2 new awakens. This is definitely new. Ooh. Special move damage, health restoration, base strike attack. What the? 10% to strike attack if a battle member other than this character is tag weapon wielder. And same thing with this one. Oh, it's base strike attack or strike attack. 10% to strike attack. I don't know which one is better, however, I can only assume that the one that gives you the higher percentage would be better. Overall mid. Okay. What about this one? Load, please. Base strike defense, 20%. Base health, 10%. That's always good. Base blast defense, 20%. Or, 10% to blah 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 1 diamond. Okay, so probably not that good. And finally these two. Base blast defense, base blast attack, base strike defense, or 6% to strike for 10. Oh, this one's actually pretty good because hybrid Saiyans are basically the best fucking units in the game. So that would be really easy to do. Definitely recommend getting a few of these guys. And then this one. What's the Super Saiyan 3 Goku about, huh? Base health restoration. To base blast defense per party member using this same equipment. Damn, that's actually crazy. And strike defense per party member using the same equipment. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty good. But it has to be Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, or Super Saiyan 3. That's actually really easy. I think this one's the best one out of all of them. Let me see what that... I didn't look at that. What does this one require? Just hybrid Saiyan? Yeah. The 2 awakened ones obviously are going to be the best ones. But yeah, guys, that's basically the video for today. I'm probably not going to summon on these because, like I said, these guys, their banner, look at this. It's terrible. This is literally shit. This is one of the worst banners ever. This was just to capitalize on the hype of the new anime coming out, and since I haven't watched the anime, I do not care about these characters whatsoever. But I can tell you, just from these Legends Limited over here, it is not worth it whatsoever. Unless you don't have them, and even then, they're probably just going to be re-released on the frickin' Legends Fest banner anyways. These guys seem interesting, and they have a cool little mechanic where they work with each other, but we're going to need to see an actually good unit come out first, like a Legends Limited, because regular Sparkings just don't cut it anymore. You need to have a Legends Limited to be able to compete, and you need an Ultra to be able to win. But But yeah, that's basically it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to see anything else related to like Dragon Ball Legends or Yu-Gi-Oh, please let me know, as coming up with ideas does take me a little bit of time, and I'm trying to become more personable, but I mean, to be fair, basically none of you are going to make it here. I already know that. So, yeah. None of you will make it this far, unfortunately, but I'll keep trying. I'll see you guys in the next one.